Bruce Dickinson has taken a heat online once again for allegedly criticizing a smoker fan at a recent solo concert in Brazil. Yes, the internet is once again criticizing Bruce Dickinson after he openly confronted several fans in the crowd at Opera Hall in Brasília on April 27th during his Mandrake Project tour. Yet it looks like some are kind of confused about what actually happened there.
If you figure out who the f it is, I just don't care what happens to them after the show.
So let's start with a short backstory first. Around a year and a half ago, one of the most viral metal news was that of Bruce Dickinson going off on a weed smoker in a front row of an Iron Maiden show and asking him to at least go to the back of the venue.
If you want to go and get completely stoned out of your mind, go out the back and do it. Alright?
And that news made for some rather heated discussion among metalheads back then. And so naturally, when the media reported that something similar happened again at a Bruce Dickinson show, many could not miss an opportunity to voice their opinion on the matter, which apparently everyone has to do about pretty much anything these days. But in all honesty, and with all due respect to everyone supporting the people's right to smoke, of which I'll talk in a moment, the situation at the Brazilian show was completely different from that in Anaheim. Before playing Navigate the Seas of the Sun, Bruce Dickinson did once again make a speech about smoking in the first rows at a closed arena concert, pointing to some fans who caused the fact that he and his bandmates were not able to perform at a level the visitors paid to see them do it. And this, of course, should not be any news to pretty much anyone at this point. Bruce Dickinson and his bandmates from Iron Maiden have been very vocal about the fact that heavy smoke vastly affects their performance abilities for years now. And I don't think that there will be pretty much any Iron Maiden or Bruce Dickinson fans whom it would have caught by surprise by now.
I do apologise for coughing, but if you smoking, alright? I can't see anything of a smoke, alright? I hate that shit, alright? She's coughing her guts out, I'm coughing, the wife is going at the back there, alright? It's kind of disgusting, alright? But if you want to be disgusting, do it outside, alright? Not in here. My throat's got work to do, and you pay good money to hear me sing, not go.
But in addition to smoking in the first row, which we all know Bruce simply hates, somebody in the crowd at that concert has allegedly been using pepper spray. Bruce's wife, Liana Dolce, explained in her Instagram post that the main problem that night wasn't in fact weed or vape smoke, as that happens at every concert, but the fact that somebody decided to use pepper spray at the show. It was not vape or smoke. It was pepper spray. A lot of people had to leave the building. I had to leave the front house, then go outside. The whole band suffered from that. Bruce had to leave the stage and navigate from the backstage. Members of our crew had to see a dog and be under oxygen. The security was not able to catch the animal that did that. So the stupid comments, vous pouvez-vous la carrer profondément. Sorry about that.
You're not speaking French!
So the very first question we can ask at this point is, who the flip and why would anyone possibly bring a pepper spray at a heavy metal show? And even more, why would anyone think it was okay to spray it among the fellow heavy metal fans? Now, I read dozens of comments from Brazilians, including some of the guys who were there present at that show, and some of them said that it was literally impossible to stay at the venue, so they had to go outside and come back later on. And please mind that that happened during Navigate the Seas of the Sun, which once again I consider to be one of the greatest songs Bruce Dickinson has ever written during his solo career. The one which so many fans have been eagerly anticipating Bruce Dickinson to finally play live for the first time on this tour. And I don't know about you, but I'd be extremely pissed if I'd be waiting for a show for more than 20 years and then something like this would happen, resulting in me physically having to go outside for one of my personal favorite tracks.
Some has been using pepper spray, which is why people can't breathe down there, right? So, you know, if you figure out who the it is, I just don't care what happens to them after the show, alright?
And now the promoter for the Bruce Dickinson Brazilian tour has issued a statement afterwards that it was most likely not a pepper spray, but it looks like the irritation which the fans and the band has experienced was probably caused by a vape pen explosion, and it was still not 100% sure whether it was done on purpose or by accident by one of the fans. But if you think about it, if that was done on purpose, it doesn't really change that much, as not only the performance itself has been interrupted, but many people, including the fans and the musicians, literally had to get some medical help. And this is insane. And from the footage from that show, you can see how pissed Bruce Dickinson and his bandmates actually were, and especially it looks like by the fact that they were not actually able to perform in front of their loyal fans who have been waiting for that show for so long properly. Although of course after a little rant, the band did close the set to the fullest of their abilities. Now, here's the thing, and I'm sorry if I'm gonna annoy some of the fans here, but in case you didn't know, heavy metal has always been about freedom. About a freedom of choice, and more than anything, about a personal freedom. A freedom to be whoever the flip you want and do whatever you want to do. And yes, this does, of course, include a freedom to smoke. But there is a catch. We can talk about someone's freedom to do whatever they want for as long as it doesn't interfere with somebody else's freedom to do what they desire. And I'm so sorry, but releasing a huge chunk of smoke at a first row at a closed arena show, and even more so, spraying pepper spray does in fact interfere with the personal freedoms of your fellow metalheads. And correct me if I'm wrong, but being extremely selfish and not giving a shit about anyone around you is not really something we do in our amazing heavy metal community. And for someone like myself, for whom, I'll be honest with you, it's kind of hard to imagine a heavy metal concert without me enjoying a pint, I would of course want the people to respect my right to do so. But at the same time, I do understand that it is okay for as long as I don't drunkenly rush into the front of the crowd and mess up everyone else's experience. And if you think about it, those guys heavily smoking scented or irritating devices in front of the crowd are doing exactly that, messing up the experience of their fellow metalheads, their metal family, who paid exactly the same amount of money to enjoy their favorite artists as those guys did. So yes, well, I'm all pro-freedom, of course, and while I, of course, do have flaws of my own, if you ask me, Bruce Dickinson's request for the fans to go outside, enjoy whatever they want to do, and then come back again and hang out with their metal family was more than reasonable. And especially since, as Liana Dolce herself pointed out, people smoke weed and vape at every Bruce Dickinson and Iron Maiden concert. And most of those times, Bruce doesn't really care about it, unless it goes completely out of line and messes up the band's performance and subsequently the experience of all those metalheads who came to enjoy the show. But what about you? What do you guys personally think? Was Bruce Dickinson absolutely unreasonable for calling out those fans? Or do you agree with Bruce? Please let us know in the comments. As always, thank you so much for watching this short video, guys, and we'll prevail. Slava Ukraini!